The storm is over. The sun's not really out, but that's okay. And I think we could still get more today as the systems pass through. My name is Kendra. This is my channel, Kendra Full of Joy. And today I'm going to do a hard times meal, a struggle bus, a SHTF, stuff hits the fan kind of meal. You know, whatever you want to call it. It's a meal that is almost all shelf stable, which I wanted it to be. I did use a fresh egg and I did use some fresh butter. And it's could be used for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We've had this many times, not the way I did it today, but this menu many times for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So if you like this kind of thing, I hope you'll consider giving me a thumbs up. I love that. Or maybe a comment, because I chat with people freely. I am an empty nester pretty much, and even though they live here, they all work full time. And so, you know, think about subscribing too if you'd like. One thing before I start, this is a new product to me. Maybe some of you have been having it for a long time. Well, it says new on it. It's the Little Debbie Snickerdoodle cream pie with cinnamon sugar. So I wanted to give a review, and it's not a great one. I'm sorry. I don't care for it. I don't taste marshmallow. I don't taste cinnamon. I taste vanilla cake with a sugar cream in the middle. That is not marshmallow. It's a little too moist. It's a little too soft. It's, no. You might love it, and you know what? Bless you if you do. Somebody's got to love it, because it's not me. Okay, on to my SHTF meal for the day, just because I was bored. I think it's getting farther away because things have changed. The thunder has gotten quieter and further between. The lightning has slowed down and the heavy rain has come behind it. I'm back and I'm ready to get started. I'm sorry for geeking out over that storm, and I'm sorry you had to sit through it, but I was so excited. Now I'm ready to get this meal on the road. So I'm trying to use as many actual shelf-stable from my prepper pantry foods as I can. And in that case, here we go. I've got Bisquick. I actually have more than one box, but you know, there it is. And I'm just going to mix up a couple. I'm not following the directions here. If you want the directions on the Bisquick, it's on the Bisquick. You can get it online. You can get it just about anywhere. I think I've made Bisquick enough in my life that I know what it should look like when it's got enough milk and enough Bisquick. Speaking of milk, I've never tried this. I don't know if it'll work, but I need to use it up because the best by date is 7/22, and I like to have fresher things on my prepper pantry when I can. I think I have 3 more cans that are 7/22. And that's another reason why you should not, if you can help it, get all of your goods in one place at one time, because they'll all have the same date and they'll all be gone at the same time. You know, not gone, but, you know, due. So I try to get some here and there. So I'm going to put that in for milk and that in for the actual flour and stuff. I'm going to top it with this. I'm going to make tea. I have half and half here, shelf stable half and half. And so I don't usually put this in my tea. I usually drink my hot tea just plain, but just I'll do it for this because it is one of the shelf stable things. I've got my oven. It is preheated to 450 degrees. I could have washed that off and made it look better, but it is what it is. The real life working kitchen, as I hear other YouTubers say. So that's this part. So I'm going to make biscuits. So here's the second item that is not from my shelf-stable pantry. I have an egg here that I'm going to fry. And so the egg and the butter are the only 2 things that had to be in the refrigerator. If I ever get around to buying the Augustin eggs, I'm going to have to bite the bullet and do it one of these days, but I can't. It's making me nervous to pay that much. It'd make me way more nervous if I didn't have eggs. So do you know what I mean? Okay, so I've got eggs, potatoes, meat, honey, spices, sauce, just all of it. And I will show it to you as I go along. I'm talking too much. I forgot to add that I actually have several manual can openers just in case. So I used about that much shelf-stable milk. until it made a consistency about like that. And I'm going to make probably about, we'll see, 2 or 3 biscuits. Just enough for this meal, I think. And that's that part. I'll show you when it's in the oven. Okay, ended up with 3 good-sized biscuits. And I also wanted to share that because I had 3/4 of a can of this left, I measured it, and it's just about 1 cup. I'm going to put this in a baggie and stick it in the freezer, marked 1 cup of evaporated milk. And it'll stop time, and we can go further on the dates if it's in the freezer, I think. Because once I opened it, you have to use it up. Okay, I just popped them in there. We're going to give them 10 minutes on the timer, if I can find it. There it is, timer, 10. And it'll just set. I don't have to hit. There, it's set. So, what about this? Wake me when I'm famous. I got this at Joann's Fabrics. It used to be a pattern, I guess. They had a bunch of these vintage ones. This was like years ago. And then lately I saw it on the clearance aisles. I must be the only one that likes that kind of vintagey stuff. And there it is, 1 cup of evaporated milk for the freezer. There we go. They look a little brown on the top, but they're good on the bottom, and I hope that they're done through and through. So I'm going to get with the rest of it. They sound done. Okay, I had to cut one open and put some butter on it and some honey, which is what I had planned to do. I'll show you that next. This honey came from a farm that is just down the road, and it's local, so it has the local fruits and berries and flowers and all of that. So they say that that's really good for people with allergies. I don't really have allergies except to cats, I think. I mean, like seasonal, probably, I don't know. And some foods. Okay, I have allergies. But anyway, it's local and it's really good stuff. He put a summer, sticker on top. He didn't put the year, but I know I bought this last year. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I like a biscuit with butter and honey. I like a biscuit with anything on it, but butter and honey is good too. Next, I'm going to do the potatoes, and I will show you how I make, I'll just tell you that now. This came out of a can, diced canned potatoes. They're anemic looking, and they're tasteless, but they're food. And so they sat on my shelf. I have several cans. I have sliced, diced, whole. These were the diced ones. And I'm going to make these into fried potatoes. The first thing you want to do is drain the can. Rinse the contents. You want to get a good amount of that starch that's been laying in out. And don't be rough with it because they'll fall apart. They're canned. And then you want to dry them really, really well because you want stuff to stick to it when you do fry them. In my frying pan, I've got a dollop of, probably a tablespoon of butter and about 2 teaspoons of olive oil. I like to use them together for 2 different purposes. The butter is for flavor and for salt, and the olive oil is for good frying and browning when I get done. I just turned the fire on. I'm not going to add the potatoes until this is nice and hot and sizzly because I don't want them to soak up the oil. I want the oil to get browning quickly and seal them from the heat. And so then I'm just going to drop them in. Ooh, I forgot about this part. You might want to do this. Get yourself one of these. Yesterday I made a mess when I was seeing if I could fry these. My test meal. I turned it down just a little bit from medium to simmer. I might turn it up again. We'll see. See them popping around in there? They're getting a coating this way from the sugars. A nice, crispy, golden, crunchy taste and bite for your tongue. So you're going to feel like you're getting actual fried potatoes. I mean, probably not your favorite grandma's fried potatoes, but these are going to do if it's a struggle bus meal. Here we go. It's getting browner and browner. And what the eye sees, the mind believes. Looks like real fried potatoes pretty soon. I should share that I chose to use for my meat for this struggle bus meal Spam. It's not everybody's favorite. It's not my favorite. But if you do it right, you can make it better than it is right out of the can, of course. So I chose bacon flavored Spam, which helps too. Doggies, please. This is lastly the trick I'm going to do with these potatoes. This is going to further make them a smoky, yummy, just a darker color, more golden. So here we go. Okay, I put in just a little paprika, and I don't taste it. It doesn't make it spicy, certainly, but it does make it a smoky, darker color. I added pepper, and I added some dehydrated onion. Can't see it because I turned it around. I'll show you it in a minute. But I'm going to stir that around, and they'll soak up the rest of the moisture. Okay, I mixed it, and I'm going to give this maybe just about 3 more minutes-ish. See if I can get a little bit more color on. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. Had to turn on the fan because of smoke. It's just a little bit left, and I'm gonna put this on the plate and get it ready. I just turned on my tea kettle, getting that ready for tea. Now I'm starting over with fresh, I wiped out the pan of all of the other stuff. I'm gonna put in this 3 very, very thin slices. That's the key too. You want to get a golden crisp on it, and you want it to be really thin so it feels like bacon. It feels like ham or bacon. And like I said, I used the, I'm sorry for the quick, I used the made with real Hormel bacon Spam. I added a little pepper, and that's it. No salt, no onion, just pepper. Okay, so I've got my English tea here, I'm getting ready to pour, and my half and half that was shelf stable. And I'm going to do my egg as soon as this bacon flavored Spam is done. So now we have caramelization on that Spam, and you don't even have to tell them it's Spam if you don't want to. They won't know unless they have been eating it all their lives. Okay, and here is the Spam, the fried potatoes, and the biscuits, all shelf stable. Now I'm going to go put that egg that is not shelf stable, I got it out of my fridge, onto the pan, and we're done. Pour the tea, and that's that. Here we go, 1 egg. I'm going to add to this some pepper and some salt. And is that it? I think that's it. Sometimes I put onion powder. I don't think I will. I see my tea is ready. It's smoking. I'm going to go pour that tea and let it steep. I intentionally used a red cup. Not my favorite cup, but a red cup, because red is an appetite enhancer, and it's going to make this whole meal appear in your mind like you're getting a good thing. Whether you think it is a good thing, I think it is a good thing, but you know, some people might not because of the shortcuts taken, and you know, we're spoiled in our country. We have been. We're about to become not. So I'm going to let this steep a little while. I'm thinking about turning it in a minute or so. There you go. She's turned. Put a little bit more salt and pepper on the egg. Flavor these things up so that they think they're getting a lot of flavor. And they are. I keep saying like they think. They really are. That make it pleasing to the eye. Okay, I'm done. I want you to see what I've got here. A napkin to wipe my fingers. But 2 things, not shelf stable. The egg and the butter. You know, everything else was on the shelf. So I've got my bacon flavored Spam from a can. My diced potatoes from a can. My, don't you do it, doggies, biscuits that I made from Bisquick and canned milk. There's my egg. And I have shelf stable half and half. And tea from the pantry, and this is from the pantry. My kids can't live without this. I put it on some things. I don't drink this, but I like a little fruit with my breakfast or vegetable. And so what I'm going to do is just make it look like I drank this. I don't drink V8. I don't care for it. I think it tastes like canned tomato sauce. That's just me. I like a different brand of vegetable juice. So it looks wonderful to me, and I'm going to eat this for lunch because it's 12:20 here in the afternoon. Whoops, I'm sorry I kicked you. Take care. I hope you'll try this and give it some thought. If you present it pretty, if you make it pretty, they will eat it. And don't tell them it's Spam. Tell them it's ham. One more thing. This Spam is crunchy because I got that char on it. It's wonderful. It's crunchy like bacon. And so that egg is wonderful with that honey butter biscuit, even the two of them together. I didn't put the cream in my tea, I meant to. That's English breakfast tea. And if you like this kind of thing, I do hope you'll consider subscribing. I love to meet new people. Just hit that, I think it's a bell, and you'll see whenever I upload a video. And I'll be doing more meals like this, struggle bus menus, or you know, SHTF or stuff hits the fan kind of meals. Just, I would like to have a whole playlist of them because I've had enough times in my life where I made meals like this because that's what we had in the pantry. But I'm older, you know, so anyway, thank you. And now I will say goodbye. Mwah.